Rin and Kitai are reunited and they are with the Empress and Jiang. Rin tells Kitai that Naja is being pulled in multiple directions that he can't afford, and that there are rumors that he's having a hard time. The Monkey Warlord and company are hiding in a cave, and that has been stopping Visera from getting to them because they couldn't turn Rin over. Rin and Ketai have a moment together, and Rin is so happy to be with him, to be touching him, and they're all bundled up together, and it's just so freaking sweet. But it's also hard not to take it romantically. This bond is just them. You don't need to include the Katreid bond in book 2. This is just how they are. This is how close they are in spirit. It makes me think back to book 1 when they meet during lunch and Kitai started a conversation with her, and who knew that moment would lead to this down the line, how significant they are going to become. It feels like fate. I don't know about you, but this is the true romance here. Stop pining after Naja, people. People need to start shipping Kitai and Rin. I know it's platonic, but how can you not ship these two together? It just makes so much sense, and the way they love each other and like just touch each other, it's too much for me. Kitai has been acting a little off since rescuing him, and Rin finally asks why. Kitai is questioning why these people are so much more advanced than they are, and he feels really left out, as in his knowledge is nothing compared to their knowledge. Rin feels like this is a betrayal, which is not. I hate that Rin can't sympathize with a friend when they don't see eye to eye. I don't blame Kitai for thinking this. We all have these questions as to why is that person so smart? Why are these type of people so smart? We have these questions even today, and it's a very sensitive question with a sensitive answer. But I don't blame Kitai at all. He values his intelligence, so for him to see such advancement that he couldn't even think about, I can see it hurting his ego. Kitai also tells Ren that he doesn't see an out to this war. There's no way of winning against the Asperian and this new world. Ren doesn't like his defeated spirit, so she tells him the plan of showing everyone the power of the trifecta. They are trying to get to the caves where the South are. Hiding in a cave is quite interesting because so many people throughout history and real life have done this to get away from war, weather, diseases. It's just so interesting. It's just like a human reaction to hide, and these caves are perfect. When they do get inside the cave, they find Venka. She's very surprised to see Rin. Kitai is already looking at plans and starts to strategize, while Venka tells Rin that she might have said some nasty things about her. Rin brushes this off very easily and just wants to know what has been going on. I really like how the audio portrays this because Rin's demeanor is so gentle and understanding. This is the Rin I really want to see a lot more. The three discuss the plan of what they want to do. Venka is quite incredulous that the trifecta are here. She also informs that Visera does come around for a rally. So now their plan is shifting to have Visera as the main target. Rin forces people out of the cave, and she describes them as little ants just when she was a child, which is not a turning point, but it's like a revelation for us to know Rin's true character that she's been hiding, I guess. Not hiding, but she's been kind of pushing down. They are waiting for Zhang to come and get rid of the dirigibles, and he is late. Venka starts to freak out a bit, and I love it when she says, "It's been fun, kids." But Jung does come, and he's ready to put on a show. While Jung is destroying the front line, Rin is noticing how unmatched she is to the power of the trifecta, one member of the trifecta. Venka says that she didn't know that shamans were that powerful. And when Rin says, hello, I'm the Phoenix, Venka is like, you're not that powerful. And she's right. It's an eye opener to see how strong the trifecta were. Just one of them is able to take the front line. We finally get to see some of the action that people were so scared of since book 1 and especially in book 2. While Rin is watching this, she wants that power. Rin sees a dirigible, and it's obviously Visera, and shouts at Jung to bring it down, which he does. She summons massive amounts of fire that's available to her because Jung blurred the lines of reality, so the Pantheon is now more accessible. She gets to Visera and easily gets rid of the guards. He is surprisingly very docile. He's older and tired. He is no longer the warrior he probably once was. He does try to frighten her by telling her that her days are numbered, because every time she summons that fire, it's just a reminder of how dangerous she is to the experience and to the world. She doesn't really care, and she assaults him. There is no other way to put it. The first time around, I was dumbfounded. Like, I was so shocked. I think I had to replay it, and it made me so uncomfortable that listening to this the second time, I fast forwarded. There's no other way to explain what Rin did. She assaulted him. She forcibly kisses him and gets rid of him through fire. It's gross, and I really, really don't like it. It's not okay for a man to do it, and it's not okay for a woman to do it, no matter how small she might be. I understand that Visera embarrassed her in book 2. He took everything away from her, but I've been saying that Rin likes to blame other people for her mistakes. And here, she wanted to embarrass him the way he embarrassed her. I also don't understand why she would do this when she herself has seen women get assaulted. She saw that young girl at the camp, at the refugee camp. She's seen and heard Venka after Golden Niece and all these other girls at the harlot house. I don't understand why she would push herself onto somebody else. We don't allow men to do this. I do not agree what Rin did here. Before assaulting him, she tells him that he should have bet on me. And I'm glad he didn't, because look at all the people who bet on Rin. They are gone. They all went out believing in Rin, and she let them down. Rin now leads the south to the open throughout the caves, and a lot of them want to relax since none of them were prepared for a long journey. But Rin is very persistent that they keep going, which is a lesson she learned back in Tikani. She thought she had time to relax, build and train her soldiers, but nausea was right at her heels. So this fear that nausea will be coming after them or coming after her is a lesson that she is learning, and none of them are really pushing back from her demands. While they are resting, Rin is reassuring them that she will be getting them out and that she has a plan. Venka informs her that some new faces are people who have been taken advantage of by the Asperians. They worked as miners, and the machineries that they were using were not that great, which would cause them to be underground for ages. Once they saw their group, they immediately went with them. These Asperians coming in and taking advantage of the country folk is very upsetting to listen, and it's something that is still happening today. AKA, look at the diamonds you're purchasing from the store. She also figures that this is her army now. She has full on control, or almost. Rin sees that Zhang is not doing so well, and the Empress is very nonchalant about it. Kitai comes in and brings some news that Soji and the Monkey Warlord are causing some trouble, which Rin will have to deal with. Daji gives her a weapon to take care of it. Rin knows what she has to do, but Kitai is trying to find some leniency, something that doesn't involve their demise, but it's the only route they see that will work. I'm trying to be kind of tiptoeing around what I can and cannot say on YouTube. Rin is talking to the Monkey Warlord, and he knows that he has lost. He will be looked at as a traitor instead of a hero who sold out despairingly. He tells Rin that she was the worst thing to happen to the South. The old me would have agreed, but listening to this the second time around, I understand her motives a lot more, and she's no longer hiding that she is this vengeful person. I hated her in the second book because she acted small and was like, it's not my fault, lying about how she felt when she did have that rush of power. I hated it because it wasn't her. I knew that wasn't her. And we finally get to see her true self. This is who she is, and I'm glad she's owning up to it. She tells him that the people want revenge, and the Monkey Warlord was fighting to survive and for peace, but Rin was fighting to win. I love her resolve and her strength, but is this for the people or is this for herself? She finally admits that this cruelty that she feels by taking out the Monkey Warlord is her and not the Phoenix. We also move on to Soji, who has gathered some of the Iron Wolves and were making their way out of the cave. I was a bit surprised that they turned on him, since I thought they value loyalty, and there wasn't anything mentioned before about Soji being this cruel leader or being the strongest, but he was clever in leadership. I did really like Soji. He really fought for the South. He led them throughout their travels. He was this kind of mentor to Rin and Kitai. So this moment feels like R.F. Kuang is making him into a villain-like character, especially when he beats Rin up. But you can attribute that to Rin being aggressive when she forced him to join her cause. Everything does make sense when Rin makes a comment about history and how cruel fate can be. They did all these rights. They did have pride in this rebellion and in trying to save their people. But all that can change in an instant. Who gets to tell the story? All of this and more to come are whims of fate, and I think that this is a huge theme in this book and possibly throughout the whole series. Rin uses Soji as a demonstration of power and changes in loyalty. While talking to the people, she does fib a lot throughout to make her look better. Rin gives this powerful speech and she's wondering where it's coming from and how she learned to talk like this. And I'm like, I know where you got it from. You learned it from school. You learned it from your masters. You learned it from Viceroy, the Warlords, Daji. This is how you learn to be authoritative. So I'm not surprised she internally has gathered so much information that she's able to mimic it. It's like us when we use our customer service voice. Rin is up there showing her power, showing her strength, and I do believe that Soji was on her side and I really liked him. But that letter And the attack on Tekani really showed him that the South could be protected if he gave up one person, possibly two, being Kitai. So, is it his fault for turning on her to save the South? It was a good deal. Rin is public enemy number one because she couldn't stop being the Phoenix, which she made it her identity. No one was ever going to be safe with her around. And there's also that excuse of she doesn't even like us, meaning the South. So let's just turn her in. So I get it. It's a hard choice to admit that Rin needs to go in order for us to be safe. At this moment, Rin is in a really good position where these people want revenge. They have been under the Muganese rule and now the Asperian rule. And they do need someone like Rin to fight for them. So I can see the people view Rin as a champion now. But I do feel like Rin is taking advantage of that because she is using them to get what she wants. The warlords did it, Viceroy did it, and other countries use people for their own benefit. So why not her? They throw us 1,000, I'll just throw 1,000 back. Rin is not a hero. She likes knowing that she has this power over people. She likes that she can destroy anyone. Soji does try to tell the people that Naja just wanted Rin and everyone else can go home. But Rin easily turns it around and says, "You've been working with the enemy then." There is nothing else that Soji can say to save him. In their eyes, Soji and the Monkey Warlord made them enter this cave. They haven't seen daylight in weeks and they were about to starve. The Monkey Warlord and Soji were just trying to do the best that they could. Soji was flawed, but I really liked him and I will continue to like him. Unfortunately, he went out as a traitor, and this could be the whims of fate. That's just how the wind blows. You made your bed, now lie in it. Soji does tell Rin that she should have stayed in the mountain, and I 100% agree. Rin is a dangerous person who is learning so much, and she is using it in real life, and that can be super dangerous. She's not breaking a cycle, she's continuing it. Rin unleashes Soji to the crowd, and they don't disappoint. They launch for him. I like the description that Rin gives us here and how these people are now proving their loyalty to Rin by tearing up the old and welcoming the new. It's a forgiveness, a blood sacrifice. He is the scapegoat. And you know, I never really understood blood sacrifices before, but this is a good example of it. You're doing something so horrible as an atonement and a favor. I would be really scared of Rin, and watching the crowd tear someone up was foreshadowed in the beginning where Soji told Rin to let these people have their justice. Dang, I can't believe I almost missed this foreshadowing. You don't betray your own. That message was clear from the beginning, and I love that Art of Kwan brought that back, and now Soji is paying and eating his words. Rin has been traveling, and now they are in another cave where Rin has a very scary moment when a scorpion almost stings her, but Vinka is there to save the day. Rin starts to think about their school days and how they hated each other, but now they are soldiers. They need each other now, and Rin considers her a friend. Once Rin sees you as a friend, she is very loyal. Her whole attitude changes the second she sees you as a friend. She did that with Naja and now Venka. Rin is someone who hates the world but doesn't hate you. And that's a huge compliment if you ask me. Venka does want the truth of where they are going, and Rin automatically tells her that they are going to the Dog Providence. But Venka tells her that she's not dumb and that she's not a spy. So Rin is on the verge of telling her why they are going. And these are the moments that you catch the second time around. They are having a difficult time climbing the mountain, and John is going more and more crazy. So much that he screamed so loudly one night that Rin enters his tent and he calls her Hanale, who was very special to Jung. If they were lovers, then it's pretty much assured that Rin could be their secret love child. Is this hinted at? It makes sense if they were in a relationship and Rin looks like Hanale, then she is the daughter. Unless she had a sister and Rin looks like her aunt, which is possible, but we don't know that. We don't know that yet. Jung is Rin's father, so having to see him this way must be really hard on her. Regardless if he is her father, she does have a lot of affection for him. She also knows how fragile he is, and I love that she still calls him master. It breaks my heart to hear her call him master because it feels like she is reverting back to a child and she longs for male protection, and it's sad that she can't find it. I don't like Rin, but I can show compassion when I see this lost child who just wants a male figure in her life. Along their climb, we learn more about why Riga looks like a member of the Ying family, and that's because he was a member of the Ying house and he got himself exiled to a refugee camp where he was worked to the bone. Riga's father, He pretty much disgraced himself. So Riga was skin and bones when Daji met him, as well as Jung. Both Jung and Daji were natives to that area and their parents were not present, so they don't know what province they were from. Daji explains that maybe that's why they were so eager to unite the province together. It's a lot of information to take in. We get a lot of information about Rin, Jung, and Hanale, as well as Daji. But Daji is trying to stop Rin from questioning John. I do think this is a lot of information that doesn't really get us anywhere. We never get a straight up answer. So I wish this section was either shortened or just cut out. So within the audio, I just let it play out. The group is starting to lose morality, starting with the two young girls who are starting to eat what is available to them. It's a sad reality, but you have to do what you have to do in order to survive, especially if you have a strong will to live. That's what Rin also thinks. So she lets it continue without really addressing it. Everyone is also starting to get injured and just tired overall. So people are starting to leave the group or starting to lag behind. And Rin is letting them go. She is very whatever about it. I honestly didn't like how Rin was letting them go. Like, let them fend for themselves if they don't want to continue on with me. And I don't like it the second time. Rin is like, if they choose to head towards their own demise, that's up to them. They're not important to my objective goal. This leadership really bothers me. I personally don't think Rin is a good leader, but this is the type of leadership that she knows. Rin has this divine spiritual belief that things are going to be okay. She thinks the Asparians want this because they see the beauty. They do make it to the top of the mountain, and now they are descending, heading into the Dog Providence. They finally made it. I'm really glad that the new warlord in the Dog Providence is a good guy. He's gracious enough to feed them and invite them in. He's also quite young and tells them that he told his father not to accept Viceroy's summons. Viceroy gave them a demanding letter telling him that this is what's going to happen to your father if you don't bow down to me. But the son knew what type of man his father was, so he made the sacrifice of losing his father to fight against Viceroy. He did receive a package, which is most likely his head, but he never opened it. Rin does mention how scared he looks because he doesn't know what he's doing, so she feels for him. The Dog Providence is too far away for them to be a priority, so they are safe for now. The Dog Warlord is giving them their meal, and Kitai tells them that the Republic thinks they will find some good minerals up here. so they will be coming. He knows this. He knows that he won't be ignored for too long. All he can give to Rin and her people is a day's worth of hospitality. Rin tells him she wants to head into the mountain where Riga is, and he a little wary about it and tells her that people don't usually come back and that the fog is very thick as well as makes people lose their way. Rin tells him not to worry about it. She needs to head up there, and he agrees. He does offer her and Kitai his room, and that is so kind of him to do. It feels like a responsibility as a warlord to do. After climbing that mountain, his hospitality makes him a saint in my eyes. Rin knows that she's very lucky, and I find it funny that he offers his room to both Rin and Kitai. Everyone knows that they are a pair. Where one goes, the other goes as well. Rin takes the first shift while Kitai sleeps, and it's so cute when Rin takes his hand. Kitai is worried about where they are heading, where they are leading these people. It's funny that Rin didn't want this responsibility in book 2, but now she has it. And in a way, she keeps fighting to be a leader. And now that she is, she needs to push through with Kitai. She strongly believes that the trifecta is the answer to all her prayers. So we'll see if this plays out. While she's taking a first watch, I couldn't help but squeal like a little pig when Chagan appears. And I'm pretty sure I squealed like a little pig the first time he showed up and the first time listening to this. I love him so much. He has been tracking Rin since rescuing Kitai, and he tells Rin that the 100 have connections with the Dark Providence. He knew that Chagan was here and most likely welcomed Rin with open arms because of Chagan. Rin calls him an a-hole, which I love. I love having Chagan back. I love him. Chagan and Rin are talking, and he explains that the Dark Providence and them have a special bond. Rin is noticing how different he looks and how solid he looks. He explains to her that without his anchor, he's having a hard time going back and forth to the Pantheon. He tells Rin that one day he's going to stay there, and the tears I have for him, the emotional impact that hit me when I listened to this the first time and the second time. The thing that really solidified him was Alton and his sister. So him deciding to disappear really breaks my heart. It's sad to hear that he doesn't want to be here anymore because his people are no longer here. The tears are falling down. This is not the first time the Art of Kwan has made a statement like this before. She's had characters leaving this plane because they no longer belong. They just want it all to end. And I pay close attention to these characters, and I don't disagree with how she's handling this. Chagan explains to Rin that he is now the leader of the 100, which sounds super cool, and he sounds super superior while saying it. Rin is surprised that he brought a whole platoon, and Chagan tells her, of course, how else are we going to fight against the trifecta? This makes Rin's walls go up, and she is not happy. Chagan tells her that he's here as a friend, which I love. I love that they are friends for a short moment. Rin has her guard up and starts to have some demands. Chagan is trying to play it off like, hey, it's me. But I wouldn't trust Chagan all the way. We know he has her back to an extent. So I don't blame her for not trusting him fully. Once Chagan does what Rin demands, he takes her into the spirit realm and she brings up Alton as if we're going to see him. Chagan says no. Kind of like shocked that Rin would say something like that, not in a negative way. It's a sad moment because Rin has that lingering longing, while Chaga, now in charge of the 100, can't really afford to think about him and can't go looking. He tells her that we are going to see Hanalei, and Rin is ready to be swooped away. Off they go and they see Hanalei, and she is full of rage. Her ending is all about betrayal and rage, and there's a lot that's left over. Rin wants to know a lot of things and asks, what did Jung do to you? One thing I really liked was when Hanalei was saying, we just wanted to be left alone. But Riga decided to say no. Rin starts to freak out because her ancestors start to corner her. I really don't like this part of Kwan's writing, where she's not allowing things to process. There's no confirmation. We already know that Jung didn't really know about the betrayal. Hanalei thinks he betrayed them, which is pretty much a given. So why give us this moment? For me, this part in the book was pointless, just as the book 1 when they fight that shadow monster in the camp, and it was never really brought up again. And the way Rin was freaking out, like, can you take a second and see the anger that your people feel? Rin does run away from her history a lot, and in a way I don't blame her since she is just learning about her Spearly life, but she wants answers, and this is part of those answers, but she always runs away. What was the point of even asking? Chagan literally has to tell her that Riga allowed the Muganese to destroy the island, and continues to tell her that Hanalei cared about the children since the Federation was taking them or wanted to take them. So in response, she was going to reveal shamanism to them, but Riga would not allow that. So he decided to just get rid of them since he didn't see them as human in a very racial way. Chagan is asking Rin, do you honestly think that Riga will see you as anything other than dirt, something beneath him? He continues to tell her that she's disgracing her ancestors by joining up with him. He destroyed them all because he could, all because they just wanted to be left alone and protect their children. Rin tells him that they are the best chance of defeating the Republic. And I just want to emphasize that Rin is deciding not to care about the history between the Spearly and Riga. Chagan is so flabbergasted and points out the power struggle that she's going to have afterwards. You must have thought of this, right? Who is going to rule once you get your victory? Who's going to be in charge? Chagan is asking about the afterwards, about the greater good. Rin is like, I don't care. I hate this about Rin. She's doing it again, where she's given information and she's not taking it seriously or even using it. She calls herself a Spearly, and here she is disgracing her own name. And it just goes back to that question, who is Rin? Who does she want to be? She obviously cannot belong at Sinagard. She does not belong. She got kicked out of Visora's army and an inner circle. She is being a disgraceful Spearly here. So who is Rin? Rin goes on about how the trifecta is the only chance they have. And Chagan disagrees and tells her that everything can be survivable. But Rin counters that by saying that he lives in a desert wasteland. Chagan doesn't like it and tells her, watch how you speak to me. Rin is reminded why he never liked him, and it's because of his condescending attitude, treating Rin like a student, telling her what to do and how to do it. But isn't that what she wants? She wants the trifecta to come in and win against the Republic. She wanted Alton to tell her what to do, and then there's Visora as well. That was her whole gambit in book 2 and 1. I get it, she doesn't like Chagan, but he's telling her how it is. It's a reality check. She's not thinking long term again. She needs someone like Chagan to tell her, and that's why I really like Chagan. He is trying to show her the long game, the one she's refusing to think about. Let's emphasize what Rin has said to Chagan here. She tells him that she knows what Daji is doing and they need Riga. She doesn't care about the rest. They need to destroy the Republic. She does not care about the history of the trifecta. I'll give her this. Rin does make a point by telling Chagan that he needs her to destroy the Republic, because at some point when they are done with her, they are going after him, and their territories will get smaller and smaller. He knows this, and the Sarkhansia knew it as well. So it's pretty funny that everyone is still using Rin. So if you want to defend her, you can say, well, if everyone is using her, she can do whatever she wants, since she's the only one doing something. I can give you that. I do hate that the relationship always tends to go sour, and Chagan tells her, whatever comes out of that mountain, we are going to strike. Rin is getting ready to go up the mountain and has a beautiful embrace with Kitai. How is this moment not romantic when he brushes his lips over her and tells her not to F this up and tells her to come back to him no matter what? Arif Kwan knows exactly what she's doing, messing with my nerves and all the other people who ship these two. While they are traveling to the mountain, Rin sees the dirigibles, but they are too far away and they are waiting to see what comes out of the mountain. I really like the creativity of this place that they are at. The Pantheon is there and she sees her phoenix there, all cruel looking. She hears all the whispering and how Riga is part of this place like a statue. She also mentions how Riga looks like nausea and how uncanny that is. The part where Riga looks like a statue, I think that also is a creative way of saying Riga is somewhat of a god himself. Once Riga wakes up, it's a scary moment for everyone in that room. Rin feels this tremendous power and she can't move. He starts to remember what happened, and when he pays attention to Rin, he looks at her like an insect. He asks whether or not she follows orders, and Rin is confused. Again, the writing here is not making sense to me. Chagan told you about the power struggle. Who's going to be in charge when the trifecta reunites, and you don't care, and that you'll figure it out. I am confused. I thought we had this conversation already, Rin. Daji surprisingly has Rin's back and tells Riga to leave her alone and that she's useful. Riga is disappointed that they need this little girl's help and tells Daji, you finally develop a conscience. And no matter how scared Daji is, scared of Riga, she is trying to help Rin here, which shows me how maybe she cares about Rin. Because Daji was defending Rin, Riga fully assaults Daji over and over again. Rin is so surprised to see this empress being allowed to get beaten down. And I bet Naja felt the same way when he saw Rin get beaten down by Alten. This is the fear that Daji mentioned before. You don't know true fear. Riga left his empire and here she is messing it up. She's so scared and I feel so bad for Daji. Zhang is not doing anything about it and he's allowing this to happen. If they are bound, then he is feeling every blow that she feels. His head is down and Rin figures out that this is a natural response. If we go back to the beginning, Zhang didn't appear for the ritual, and when he does appear, Daji secretly wants to run away with Zhang, to get away from Riga. They have lived with this fear of this man, and I'm wondering, why do they want to bring this man back? But they are so used to this abuse that they need him back to take the empire back. They think they can't do it without Riga, or at least Daji doesn't think so, and Riga did make them dependent on him. The Phoenix is also witnessing this, and she knows that whatever is inside Riga is most likely able to overpower her, and they both don't want that. I'm, of course, confused about this. You didn't think Riga, this huge presence, wasn't going to overpower you? Rin continues to override her feelings because she needs him, and she tells herself that she knew that he was a monster, and she starts bargaining with him. This is the part I remember, and it's the part where she tells them, I know what you did, I'm the last Spearly, and I don't care. Nikon needs you. She continues to say that she knows what he did, and it was a necessary thing to do. She continues to say, I don't care, over and over again. So she doesn't care what Riga did to her people, and she tells him that they have an enemy and he needs to defeat them. She's telling him what to do. Why would you do that? Rin's ego, her mindset is off the charts crazy sometimes. You honestly think this powerful creature is just going to follow orders from you. He sees you and your people as bugs, something underneath him, and you think he's going to take orders. Yeah, she is desperate, but she's not stupid. She did the same thing talking to the Pirate Queen and her goonies. She demanded to be seen. She has a tendency of demanding things, thinking that she is important enough to have people listen to her. Riga asks what she knows, and Rin continues to tell him, I don't care, and that you need to work with me. The audacity and desperation this child has. Riga gets a hold of her and is prodding her mind to the moments when she was scared. He finally puts on the face of Alten. We figure out that his power comes from fear. We find out through memories that Riga is giving Rin that the trifecta was the reason why the Spearly children were taken to be experimented on. Hanale was Alten's aunt, and if we say that Hanale is Rin's mother, then that makes Alten and Rin cousins, or at least related. So that's weird. To anybody shipping Rin and Alten, I hope that smacks you in the face hard. And I am saying that Hanale is Rin's mother, since they look alike. I'm questioning this relationship that R.F. Kwan built between Alten and Rin, because Rin is or has this notion that she is in love with Alten. And when she had her diary illusion about her wedding dinner, she didn't like the idea of him kissing her. Is it because R.F. Kwan decided to make them related? And Rin did tell the Sorkensia that Alten wasn't like all the other boys. You wouldn't say that about your cousin. I have a mom who has a sister, which makes her my aunt. Am I getting that right? If they were cousins, then why didn't they have a relationship like they were cousins in the beginning? Anywho, Rin is figuring out that the Federation never took the children by force. They were given. R.F. Kwan does it again when Rin realized that, oh, I'm a bug to him. He's never going to work with me. Didn't Chagan tell you that? Even your ancestors' rage tell you that? Just like you refused to listen in book 2, you were given this information, and you're so surprised when it's true. Rin goes on about how I could forgive the trifecta for almost anything besides giving the children away. Listen, even though I have not been Rin's biggest fan, and my hate for her reached its peak when the psych all met their end, but this realization is ridiculous. Is R.F. Kwan trying to make Rin the hero here? What is the point? Rin does not care about the trifecta. how they got rid of her race. And getting rid of the race also includes children. She's willing to forget all of that. But suddenly, it's the children being sent away to get experimented on. That was her last straw. Her people are gone because of the trifecta. And that should have been enough. So for me, Rin changing her mind because of the children is not making sense to me. What about all the other people? Are they not important? Children are important. Erasing your race involves children, right? I'm tired of Rin looking good because she does the right thing morally 10% of the time. She's not a good person. And if you think she's a good person or think she's good because she changed her mind last minute, I think you're crazy. She burned the Asperian in book 2, and I'm so glad she took action. And one of the only times she actually does something good, she gets in trouble for it. And now we have this where she doesn't forgive the trifecta for giving the children away, but is okay with the fact that her race is gone and she doesn't care because she wants vengeance. I honestly find her character annoying, and this is one of the reasons why. It's just, for me, it just doesn't make, her character sometimes just doesn't make sense, and I find that really annoying. She decides that the children are not something she will forgive and has enough fire for an element of surprise. The phoenix is there, but it's described that the gods are having their own battle, so the phoenix can't help her now. She needs to fight hand-to-hand combat, which she does okay. Riga is sluggish, but not enough where he can't take on Rin. Rin gets pinned down and almost meets her demise, but Jung is there to block the blow. He tells her to run and to make sure that they aim at the building. Rin runs out and the dirigibles are there, and she releases fire into the air as a marking, which causes this huge frenzy of shots from the Asperians. They destroy the mountain just like they destroyed Phelan, and Rin goes, "There you go, you're welcome." Like she did their job for them. I'm annoyed because you went into the mountain planning on releasing them, and then you come out cocky like you did anything special. I need Botox on my upper eyebrow for how much I am crunching my face in anger and annoyance. I do think it's funny that once they saw the fire, they immediately started firing. They were that anxious to see what comes out of that mountain. I honestly would have loved a battle between the Asperians, Nausea, the 100, and the Trifecta. That would have been epic. Bryn is running out of the mountain, and the Asperians are just attacking the heck out of that building, and Jung unleashes wild beasts, so they are also being attacked. But Rin is putting her money on the Asperian weapons, and they will be the final winner. Rin has this whole adventure while running away. She jumps on the dirigible, she damaged it, she jumped from it. It was a lot of fun to listen to. I can't give the book that. She wakes up and realizes that she is alone, the only shaman, and it feels lonely. And I'm not really considering Nausea a shaman, even though he is. But at this moment, the only shaman that is on her side is now herself. And she feels lonely about it. She realized that she should have never trusted other people more powerful than her. Rin continues by saying that she really clung to the idea of the trifecta, so they can take over and she doesn't have to do much anymore. She wanted them to be the people the world saw them as. They saw them as gods and heroes. She does tend to make the same mistakes over and over again, and I'm tired of it. Rin does think about all the people who betrayed her, which I do feel sorry for her. If she wanted to pass on this responsibility to other people, why does she fight so hard to be a leader? She got rid of Soji and the monkey warlord. She got rid of Visera. Her psyche are gone. She keeps coming back to the people, and she does this for her vengeance. She does it out of spite. I'm tired of her trying to pass on the responsibility onto other people, only for her to do the opposite. I am confused by this writing. Rin notices that the trifecta and the Asperians kind of eliminated each other. And then she says the most annoying, the most agitating thing she has ever said throughout the whole series. And she shouts, "That's for Spear." What are you talking about? You just said you don't care. You said that over and over again. I am pulling my hair, people. You said you understood Riga's decision. I understand tough decisions, blah, blah, blah. Like, shut up. Her cockiness here is over the top so much I'm laughing. I'm not sure if Arif Kwan meant this to be funny and was like, oh, ha ha, that's our Rin. I'm tired. I am tired. This is something I remembered the first time around and I was pissed. She had the audacity to say this and I am still pissed. This is a tame version in my opinion. I record as I listen, and that audio the first time around has me screaming and cursing her out. I am so over this. When Rin looks at the building, she thinks she sees a lingering figure coming out of the smoke, which is interesting. I like it. Was it John? Who was it? But I hate this. I just want an answer. And I'm tired of these moments that are for nothing. What was the reason for this specific moment here, Arifon? Why did you put this here if it's never coming back? We don't even know who comes out of the mountain. It's never answered. Okay, calm down. I'm trying to calm down. We finally enter part 3, where it starts 9 years ago. We enter a childhood memory of Naja, who is possibly 9 or 10 years old, give or take. Her father calls for him and he's very excited to get his attention, since his attention only goes to his firstborn, and he's asking Naja whether or not he has ever thought about leadership. And he says no. He understands his place as the second son, a soldier and the most loyal soldier his brother can have. And I think that's really important to emphasize, is that Naja was brought up to be the most loyal person his brother can have. He goes on to tell us about his father's very statue-like facial expressions, never giving affection or kisses since those only belonged to his wife. And I like to hear that his mother pretty much spoiled her children with love. I thought it was the opposite, but I'm glad I'm wrong. I thought he would have little to no love from his parents because he is the second son, the black sheep. He did have love, but he also had expectations which were heavy. I think this also shows that he initially doesn't want to be the emperor. He understands his place and will not question or push for something that isn't his. He has had this loyalty since birth. Rin is wrong when she thinks that Naja wants this position. She is projecting and she took it out on him. Viceroy also tells him a story in which he gets nervous because his eyes are a little glassy, where he's most likely been drinking. And the audio part of this story is just so great because Naja sounds like a little boy who is nervous. He sounds scared of his father, and I think that really adds emotional impact to the story. It's a story with a lot of details that I did not have the time to go back to re-listen to. Unfortunately, I did have this audio as a loan from the library and my time was ticking. I would love to listen to this again and understand it a lot better. But what I learned from it was that Arlong was a wasteland until someone made it the way it is now, which is rich and luxurious. This story that Viceroy tells him also involves the grotto, but he trails back and forth and tells him that he knows that Naja has been interested in visiting it. Naja is scared that he might get in trouble, but Viceroy instead tells him not to go to the grotto and not to take on the responsibility of the empire. It's too heavy and he's not strong enough. I can see the insult where he doesn't believe in his second son. He doesn't have what it takes to rule. When Viceroy asked the question whether or not he wanted to rule, and Naja said no, I think that was enough for his father to tell him that he doesn't have the guts to rule. When Viceroy tells him not to visit the grotto, it sounds like he does care about his son, but it also sounds like he's pushing his son to go and waiting to see whether he's going to prove his father right or prove him wrong. He does have the guts and strength to carry the empire. The memory really answered some questions that I had about his family. I thought Viceroy pushed his son to the grotto and that he wanted a shaman. And maybe Viceroy feels bad that he did push his son to become this shaman and why he protected him from the Asperians. There's also the pressure of his wife, where she blames him for making her son into this thing. Like, how could you do this to my boy? I like how it also shows how intimidated he is by his father at such a young age. So any ounce of attention is something for him. I think Arif Kwan really likes Naja because she pays attention to his character and how she answers some questions about his history and family a lot more than she does with Rin. She also gives him main character development where he is evolving into this adult a lot faster than Rin is. Rin has her problems, as you have heard me scream about them. So it's interesting to see Naja have problems, but he is tackling them quite differently than Rin. And he's tackling them like a main character would, versus Rin, who's tackling them as a villain would. It's not really on point, but I think that's the easiest way I can explain their development. We go back to Rin, where Kitai, Venka, and the dog warlord are discussing the aftermath of what happened. It looks like they destroyed quite a few dirigibles, and they truly believe that they have a fighting chance now. It's so naive if you really think about it. Rin tells them that the Asperians are not going to give up so easily, and to finish it, they need to take over Arlong. We also find out 2 dirigibles managed to escape, and Venka makes a joke, let's hope that Naja was not one of them. It's funny how the Asperians found them climbing the mountain, and it took me to book 1, where someone told the Federation about Alton and Rin climbing the mountain. Daji gave that information over, and now who gave them the information that they were headed into the mountain? Rin tells them that she wants to bring more shamans into this world, and of course Kitai is against it, and the dog warlord will only allow those who volunteer, and he won't stop anybody. She does want Kitai to agree, and I don't like it when she says, I never needed his permission, but it sure sounds like it. And she knows that she can't do this without his support. Kitai is already thinking ahead of what they can do with these new shamans. And it reminds me that Kitai will always tend to do what Rin wants to do. And my heart is breaking. She comes out of the tent vindicated and strong and sounds like she's becoming this leader that she needed to be. She sees a play about the trifecta and the young marshal being the bad guy. She has the power to change that narrative and to tell them the truth. She loves that she has this power, the power of history. What they know is that the trifecta sacrificed themselves to get rid of the dirigibles and the Asperians. She allows them to keep their victory since one of them sacrificed himself for honor, and that was Zhang. She thinks that once she is done with this war, no one will remember the trifecta. And I always hated this cockiness from her, and I can't wait for this cockiness to bite her in the butt. Rin has a final goodbye with Chagan, and she mentions the psych and how having him here with him reminds her of the psych. And I'm trying not to cry. I am always going to blame her for the psych, and I can just imagine the psych members around her in this ghostly way, around surrounding Chagan and her just watching them. She does admit that she misses them and how she misses the before. She's always missing the before. It sucks that she never appreciated them like she should have. In my opinion, she didn't appreciate them. Chagan is happy that she is not with the trifecta, and he knows that it was not by choice, and I'm happy that he's smart enough to know that. They have to go their separate ways now, and it's safe to say that it's a final goodbye. My age is showing because this goodbye is so sad, and saying goodbye, especially this one, is so final. I feel like this. I feel this, and you really have to treasure what you have now. Before Chagan leaves, he wants to discuss Nausea, and she doesn't want to remember the good times with him, and or doesn't want to feel the regret with the words she spoke to him, which I'm glad because she knows what she said was harsh. Chagan explains that Arlang is a wasteland. Nothing really grows there, and the thing that is protecting it is this disgusting dragon, which Chagan is disgusted when he says, if you can even call it that. The cave is what I call one of the seven wonders, where it's close to the pantheon, the other world, and whatever went inside, a crab or whatever, manifested itself into a dragon. Chagan continues to explain that this thing is like the ocean where it wants to own and control, and one day this thing is going to claim Nausea like a prize. It's going to claim it body and soul, which makes my stomach roll. I was right when I said that this thing assaulted Nausea as a child, and I'm glad he emphasizing this to Rin. Rin is starting to understand that this thing, this horrible creature, is inside Nausea, and that his pain is greater than hers. She understands that his pain is not something that he gives willingly. Rin is ready for that pain because for her, it's an exchange, and she knows what she's getting. Nausea never wanted this, and she understands that now. He never wanted to be a shaman. She finally starts to realize, what have I done? I pushed him to the edge, and now he's over it. She feels guilty, and my tears are for this fragile, this boy who was curious about the grotto. It caused so much pain and misery. I understand being fragile, and that's why I connect with Nausea so much more, and why I'm rooting for him. Now Nausea is Rin's greatest enemy. Chagan mentioned that he is drawn to the dragon, and he is his power source, the dragon and or the cave. Chagan's final advice is to destroy Arlang. If you leave your enemy alive, your enemies are always going to be there. Your problems don't stop. This advice is dangerous to give, especially to someone who wants to live in a world where her enemies can't touch her. Here begins my absolute favorite moment in this book. Who will be chosen to become the next shamans? Who has the guts? I love it, I love it, I love it. Kitai puts out an announcement about who qualifies and giving certain age limits. People totally ignore it, that so many come to this meeting. Rin knows that there are too many posers out there and makes them wait hours. Who really wants this? And some people leave within the hour. These are the people who think they want it, but mentally they can't handle it, so they go. Even with these people gone, there are too many people still here. So she tells him, I want your blood. Give me your finger now. Only 6 can do it, and the rest can't do it, so they leave. Rin does have a moment of chaos where she thinks about all these people becoming shamans and ruling the land. But of course, she comes back down to reality. The remaining people who did give her blood stay, and I love it. This part was so exciting to me. When it's down to the wire, she tells them, if you have a family, be prepared to never see them again. And that was enough for 2 of them to leave. She continues on and really explains the consequences of being a shaman, about losing your mind and never fully being able to be in control of your body again. She explains that you might need drugs to fall asleep and just emphasizes that you have to want this. She can't guarantee that you'll become a shaman. Even if you do this, you might end up crazy. She goes on to say that her master is no longer here, so she never fully got trained, and that she might not be the best guide, so she can help them only so much. I am living for this. This makes me so excited. This is the Rin I've been waiting for. She will not let anyone become a shaman until they know the price. She never got that chance for someone to tell her the same thing. Zhang tried to help contain the phoenix, but never really explained or went through the consequences of being a shaman. So now we have Rin to explain this, and I'm proud of her. She's not sugarcoating it. It sucks, but if you want it, you want it, and I'm here to teach you. I truly think she would have become a great teacher, a master at Synagard. Imagine having years of learning how to control the phoenix. She would have become a master, fearful shaman and teacher. I do think that this is her calling. Instead of being a chess piece for war, she could have become a great teacher. Her final 4 students are Pipaji, who was the one of the girls that her aunt tried to sell. Dulin, who was the boy they found buried alive. Linghua, who is new and is described to have multiple cuts throughout her body. And Murchi, someone older than the age limit that they asked for, and a soldier that fought at Synagard when Rin first awakened her phoenix power. It's so cool to see characters make it to the mountain. Like, they all survived so many things, and now they are learning to become shamans. I find that amazing, especially Murchi, since he almost has a similar experience as a soldier like Rin. They were both at Synagard, and maybe they passed each other once, you know? I don't know. I love these little moments. I like what Murchi said when he's like, I heard rumors about you, and here you are, and here I am, learning how to become a shaman. How fate works sometimes. I also like how she decides Linghua, I'm sorry, the pronunciation is not helping. Even in the audio, I always try to catch it, but it just doesn't work out. So I'm just gonna call her Leah. I hate to shorten it, I really do, but I feel like I'm gonna try, I don't know what's better, trying to pronounce her name or trying to shorten it so it comes out a little better. So I'm gonna shorten it, not as a disrespect, but it's just something that I can't catch correctly. So Leah is this delicate theme, but she knows that delicate people tend to have a steel backbone. One thing she does like about all of them is that they all have some kind of trauma they can hold on to, and they all have the will to live, which is good since they need an anchor to go into the pantheon and to come back from it. When Rin is teaching her students, it's funny because she knows what she's talking about, but she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's trying to teach that their reality is not real, and that they are the dreams of the gods, and that they are going to enter the real world, their world. They are, of course, confused. Like, they hear the stories but don't know whether to believe it or not. And it's like when I tell people that there are little people living inside my house and they steal my forks. I know no one believes me because it's weird. Rin remembers how Jung would drive her nuts because she didn't understand him, and vice versa. Pepaji is actually one of the first to catch on to what Rin is saying, and I like how she tells Rin that she was observing her when she was clearing the ice away from their trail, and that she was not using the poppy seeds to get to the Pantheon. Rin tells them all that she doesn't need the drugs. She's too close with her phoenix, and Pepaji says that they need to get to her level then. And I'm glad that Rin snaps at them, telling them no. She doesn't want them at this level, because at this level you are too far gone like she is. They never leave you alone. They are trying to dominate you every second and won't shut up. The life of a shaman is so sad, and this thing is constantly telling you things, and it must be so tiring. I love that Rin tells them the truth and tells them that when you get to this point, you head to the mountain, just like the others. And if you get close to merging with your god, I will take you out before I let that happen. The audiobook nails it. Ugh, I love it. There is so much to unravel here. Rin cares what happens to her students in a way that she doesn't want this fate for them, because she knows how it feels. And it's a huge realization that she finally understands what it means to be a leader of the psych. This was the heavy burden and responsibility that Alton carried, that Chagan tried to tell Rin about in the beginning of book 2. He told her to stop being selfish and start thinking about other people. This is the moment that I have been waiting for. This is the Rin I needed in book 2. I do hate that it took so long for her to get with the program. She has been making the same mistakes over and over again, and some I don't blame her for, but others I do. But we finally get to see this version of Rin. I'm like, yes, thank you, finally. Rin gets them high, and it's super funny. She didn't expect much from them getting high the first time, and she is super lost on to how to help them. I honestly was super lost myself when I listened to the audiobook the first time when she got her training in book 1. I had no idea what was going on. She has a discussion with Kentai where she has the idea to force them to the Pantheon, just like when she had all that anger that was directed at Naja. So she really pushes them to think about the worst memory that they ever had. Pepaji is very hesitant to discuss this, as well as the others, and she moves on to Dulin and asks, how long were you buried before someone found you? She is really pushing buttons until Pepaji snaps back and tells her that she doesn't want anyone to touch her ever again. Rin sees their anger as their anger, so she now tells them they are ready. Pepaji is the first one to enter the Pantheon, and whatever god she chose did get Murchie injured to being unalive. She was distressed and he wanted to help her, but it cost him his life. It sucks because I wanted all of them to become shamans, and Murchie was such a cool dude, but in the end, Rin did say she just wanted 3 shamans. Pepaji runs off, but Rin does manage to get her off the edge and really talks to her about what happened. Pepaji tells Rin that the goddess promised her that no one would ever touch her again, which Rin responded by saying, I bet that felt good. Rin asks about what else she saw, but she is hesitant to say more. And surprisingly, Rin is very mature here and thinks if you want something vulnerable, then you have to give something vulnerable. So she does and shows her the scars Alton gave her and the scar that Naja gave her. I still think Alton's scar is dumb, and Rin says that she got these scars from the men she thought she loved. And if you haven't noticed, but Kitai never left a scar on her, and I don't know, maybe choose the one that didn't leave a scar. This does open Pepaji, and Rin tells her that she won't judge her. We get to hear Pepaji's story of when the Muganese came and did what they do to women and young girls. But before, she told her sister to stay hidden and not to say a single word or sound, which she did. But when it was all over and Papaji went to get her sister came out a lot different. So she blames herself for her muteness and anything else wrong with her. With her sister, she knows that she has nothing to repent. She did what she needed to do to keep her safe. Rin wants to comfort her and tell her to run away and live your best life with your sister. Forget about the Pantheon. But another side of her, the general side of her, needs her. She is part of the plan and she can't have her crying here like a pathetic little girl. Just like when she met Viceroy the first time. She does credit Viceroy for teaching her how to be a soldier and how to suck it up and move on. I totally understand this logic and I agree. Viceroy was more on the grooming side of things, but with Rin, it feels like it's coming from a general. So she tells her to suck it up and you need to face reality. That's not always a bad thing, and it works with Papaji and it works with Rin as well. She tells Papaji that she has the power to have no one to ever touch her again and the power to help other girls so they don't have to go through the same thing you did. Leah, I feel so bad. Leah does manage to get access to the Pantheon and she has the power to heal, which is the best thing in the world. Honestly, if I had a superpower, it would be super strength or healing power. Her scars are healed and they experiment on small animals, which they find no side effects. So Rin now offers herself as the first human experiment where she heals her ribs. Rin does say there is some burning, but it's nothing unbearable. Leah does offer to fix Rin's hand, but unfortunately it doesn't work. The last one to get access to the Pantheon is Doolin, and he gets agitated that he couldn't seem to get it, but he finally did. He is able to summon the Great Tortoise and create massive sinkholes, which is super cool. Rin takes out her new recruits, but I like to call them her students. She takes them further out so they can train their abilities. When she experiments with Papaji in a lake and everything comes up not alive, she's thinking about the possibilities of this, and she can be the key to destroying Naja in the ocean. She starts to think about how Naja doesn't know Papaji and all he's going to see is a pretty little girl out in the battlefield before lights out. I just want to emphasize this remark here because it's funny, and thinking about Naja, we don't really see any romance in his life other than Rin, but we never get anything else or a clue who his father wanted him to marry. Viceroy would have never chosen Rin as a partner for him, but it would have been interesting to see who a possible partner for him. Maybe someone from Esperia? Who knows? Rin now has a semi-understanding of their abilities, and she is super giddy because she knows she is going to win. She tells her students to leave her behind for a bit, and what she does is create a little memorial spot for Jung. I'm very glad that she made something for him. She goes on to say that she loved him like a father once, and that's enough for me to confirm that he was her father. I hate speculating, so I'm not going to anymore. She also remembers him leaving her and coming back for her to save her in the end. She doesn't want to cry, but she needs to cry. There's no shame to it. At least I understand that it's just her character now. Whatever. She also tells him something that she has been wanting to tell him for a while now, and that he's a coward, and she is absolutely right. He's been a coward where he didn't save the Catraids. He let Hanalei go and ran away from Rin, even though it was to protect her because of the voices inside his head. I did like Jung, but him, Daji, and Riga got what they deserved.